Dear students of academics and competitive exams of English students, in this lecture 1 English version lecture, our topic is vocabulary and we are going to begin with idioms. Students, in this lecture, we will learn how to use idioms in the examination and how we can learn the meaning of idioms. And first of all, we will learn what is an idiom. Student, this is M. Rahman and you are attending ORSE classes of English language. Students, to continue your syllabus and to strengthen yourself with vocabulary and other parts of English, please don't forget to subscribe our channel, and if you like our lectures, please share and like. Now students, let's begin with the definition of idiom. It's not a particular definition, but it will help you to understand what's an idiom. A student, idiom is an expression meaning of which can't be inferred from the meaning of words that makes it up. Students, I mean to say is that the meaning that you infer means that you get from the words directly isn't the meaning actually. uh, a manner of speaking, in other words, you can say it is a manner of speaking, is a type of speaking that is natural, and that is an instinct of native speakers. Students, native speakers are those speakers where these idioms are developed and where they are used naturally. Maybe in some other region they can't be used. Now students, idioms uh, are based on some specific understanding or meaning that is used to be spoken by the people of some particular area. Now students, we can understand these idioms. This is based on rusticism. This is based on different dialects. Rusticism means an informal language that is used in some area, as you understand from the native speakers. Because if some phrase is spoken in this district, maybe that is not spoken in some other state or district, that is region. Students, dialect is a form of language that is spoken for informally. Students, a language has its grammar, but a dialect doesn't have grammar, because a dialect there are so many dialects in the same language. Suppose if you speak English in England, if you speak English in America, their accent and their usage of words are different, but maybe they are the same in grammar. Students, that is language. One word is there, patois. Student, it's written just like patois, but basically this system is called patois. And student, this is called in English grammar, and you will come across so many times jargon. Jargon is a language uh, we in which we find that this language is spoken in a group, or you can say a characteristic of a language of a group. You can say informal language. Now we will understand how to learn this. Suppose students, I have an idiom, iron will. Iron will. Iron means a type of metal. Will means determination, and this is made up of two words, iron will. Means will means desire, but if I try to take the meaning from this will is also an helping verb of future indefinite or future continuous or future perfect tense. And iron is a you can say in chemistry ferrous. Iron, ferrous or ferric. Iron means metal that gets rusted when it is kept in moisture. But now in literature the meaning is entirely different. Students, before I proceed, I would like to give you a little information. Means word meanings are of many types. Generally, on the basic level of English, we learn word meanings. Students, meanings are many types, like formal meaning, informal meaning, archaic meaning, vulgar meaning, historic meaning. Now students, if we take a literal meaning means just as it is written, it is metal and it is will. If I take it as desire, that it is iron and desire, but it's not a fact that I have a desire of iron, I have a desire of gold, I have a desire of silver. It's not a practical expression. But now, even then, we have some understanding related to these two words, iron will. Iron will means a will that is like an iron. Then iron shows the strength, and will is your desire or determination, means your determination that is strong, in other words. Iron will, then firm determination. Students, because this idiom is given in your examination, and the question is put like this, you please pay attention to me whatever am I going to speak. In examination question reads, use the given idiom in your own words so as to make their meaning clear. Means, students, in question it is instructed that you shouldn't write the meaning, but you use the phrase in your own words, and your usage must show the real meaning of the idiom. Your usage must show the real meaning in the idiom without displaying the meaning of the idiom. It means your writing meaning won't do in examination, but your usage will make the reader understand, will make the examiner understand that it is the meaning. Now let's begin. First we should learn the meaning of the idiom, and now this is the question, how we can learn the meaning of the idiom. We can learn the meaning of idiom. We should create some trick. Iron means a metal that is very strong metal, will mean desire, it means very strong desire. Suppose I am thinking his firm determination made him successful. His firm determination made him successful. Students, his firm determination. Now this firm determination, because it's my simple thinking that I keep in my mind, maybe I am not used to using these words, but you can use it. His firm determination. Firm determination, you make your sentence. As a beginner you can use your sentence based on the meaning, because we are used to this meaning, and then in mind you change it. His iron will made him successful. Student, then you will write this example in your subjective question, and you will get it underlined with black ink. After writing all this in blue, please don't copy these colors that I have already displayed on this whiteboard, because it is to make you understand and to highlight the special parts. In examination you will use black ink, and you will if you are given permission, you can use only underline, black underline under the main portion. His iron will. Then students, first we will understand the meaning, and after meaning we will come to know whether this given idiom is a noun or adjective or an adverb. Students, if it is noun, definitely it can be used as a subject or as a verb or elsewhere in the sentence. And now I used this iron will as a subject, made him successful. Which iron will? The answer of which and who is subject, that's why it is used here. Now again students, first remember, learn the meaning of this and set a trick. Second, you come to know whether it is noun, adjective or verb, and then you use third in your own meaning that you have in your mind regarding this idiom, and then you replace that meaning, replace your meaning with replace your meaning in place of iron will, firm determination, you write iron will. Give false coloring to. Give false coloring to. Student, give, it's the verb, it means it is to be used on the place of verb. And give false coloring to, the direct meaning is misrepresent, means to display in some other style, in some other form. Now the first thing is, how will you learn? When you give, students, suppose I am a dark person of dark complexion, okay, I am, you simply say black. I am a person of dark complexion, and I want to represent myself with a fair I want to present myself as a very fair person, okay, because society likes fair person, although it doesn't have any sense in it. So what will I use? I will use cosmetics. It means I will give a false color to my face. It is false coloring. False coloring means that is not real. Not real means to misrepresent. Misrepresent means whatever you are representing is not as it is used to be, as it is simply, but you are adding something. It means you are creating some misguidance, you are doing some you are misguiding somebody, and you are not giving right information. That is give false coloring to misrepresent. It means you are representing in a false manner. Now third thing is, first you learn the meaning, second thing you see what is this, then I forgot to write here verb. It students, it will be used in place of verb. Now let's see. He always misrepresents the deeds of others as he is jealous of others. Misrepresents is equal to give false coloring to. That's why I will change this misrepresents in the examination. I'll write he always gives false coloring to the deeds of others as he is jealous of others. Okay, he always gives false coloring to the deeds of others as he is jealous of others. Student, this is verb, that's why I used after subject and after this always adverb. Now let's understand this example number 3. This example is based on noun and adjective. A bed of roses. Student, just first we will learn the meaning of this phrase. Okay, bed, you know what is bed? A resting place of roses. Roses means that is the king of the flowers. It means very nice, full of fragrance, full of softness, full of relax. It means easy plus work. If something is bed of roses, it means easy work, because bed of roses is means easy to relax. And if you relax on the paved stone, if you try to lie down on the mat, if you try to lie down in the field where the farmers work, it is not comfortable, so that is hard to feel. Now students, bed of roses means it is easy and good to feel. Noun with adjective. Now let's now I hope you have understand the meaning, you have understood the meaning of this, how to learn. And after this you find that it is noun, it means it is to be used in place of noun. Now let's prepare a sentence. Learning English is not an easy work. Then students, an easy work should be deleted. A learning work isn't a bed of roses. This is the idiomatic use and its proper sense in this sentence. Students, other than this, I would like to give you a suggestion. Whenever you write the sentence, you should not write only usage, but you should make it clear in what sense this is right. Suppose he always misrepresents the deeds of others, means he always gives the false coloring to the deeds of others. It's okay. But students, when you add this as he jealous of others, then this jealous of others will make it understand the reader what does this gives false coloring to mean. Then students, we will continue this class with more worksheets, and we will send more worksheets to you. And when you are not able to use and learn some particular idiom in your own language, you will write to us in your comment box and start. And with your comment box, you please try to connect with us, and we will prepare a lecture that I will found difficult for you to learn. And then students, and those who are not direct students of us, they can please demand, and they can take or receive these worksheets of idioms and phrases if they give their number and the source of email, anything, and I will send or upload on that. Now students, and then you will learn, because they are very important with the purpose of examination, and I'll send the usage and their ways, easy ways to learn. Students, in this way you will have to go through the worksheets, and then you will find where you are feeling difficulty, then we'll solve them. And so please stay connected with us, and for that you will have to subscribe our channel. And please, if you like our this lecture, don't forget to like and share. Thanks.